या देवी सर्वभूतेषु शक्तिरूपेण संस्थिता नमस्तस्यै 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 नमो नमः। या देवी सर्वभूतेषु मातृरूपेण संस्थिता नमस्तस्यै 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 नमो नमः। या देवी सर्वभूतेषु मीरारूपेण संस्थिता नमस्तस्यै 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 नमो नमः। पूज्य माँ भगवती, पूज्य Sri Arvind, you are all members of the core group of Savitri mission. What we are churning at present is about the foundation stone of the new age. How can we individually lay down the foundation stone of life divine on earth with the absolute collaboration of the divine will that is symbolically got descended upon earth as supramental by Sri Aurobindo and the Mother. So what will be our accountability tomorrow? If we can live our future in present, then we are the forerunners. To be the forerunners, we must not live in past. If we live in past, then it is the habit. If we live in present, that is the self-victimization. And if we live in future, then it will be the adventure of consciousness. To live in future is yoga. To live in future is ascending, and to live in future in present is adventure. So, are we committed to live with our old habits? Are we committed to live with the forces of our old habits? So, evolution means the conscious evolution of consciousness. That is the definition of Sri Aurobindo. Unless and until evolution can be made conscious movement, we cannot practice yoga. If we want to practice yoga, Purna Yoga, integral yoga, then death is to be conquered should be our sole motive, should be our sole religion, should be our sole Swadharma. Srimad Bhagavad Gita very clearly says, and Lord Krishna insisted, Arjun, you should get rid of all different dharmas. And dharmas means paradharma, not Islam, Jainism, Buddhism, or any dharma other than Sanatan Dharma is not vidharma, is not adharma, is not other religions. Sarva dharman parityajya mamekam saranam vraja aham tvam sarva papebhyo mokshayishyami ma suchah. What can I give you if you fulfill this precondition? And what is precondition? Sarva dharman parityajya. You will have to get rid of all different religions. And all different religions means paradharma. Yoga, to live in future, is only your religion. To live in future is only your swadharma. And swadharma means not religion. Swadharma means the natural manifestation of your psychic at whatever level you are living at present. Manifestation of the psychic potentiality is swadharma. Manifestation of psychic reality is your swadharma. Manifestation of psychic nature is your swadharma. Instead of being the victim of the law of nature, you should just project your own nature in the world, at least in your own life, during your lifespan. That is your swadharma. So one has to find out one's own swadharma. That is the living message of Srimad Bhagavad Gita, as Sri Aurobindo also propounded and presented in essays on the Gita. There are three important master subjects of Srimad Bhagavad Gita. One is Arjun, the representative of the human race. Another is Lord Krishna, the supreme target of the human race. And third one, Kurukshetra, the real movement of the way of life. Kurukshetra is not conflict. Kurukshetra is not victory. Kurukshetra is not accountability, duty or responsibility. Kurukshetra is the de facto hard or stern reality of life. You cannot escape Kurukshetra. As you are human being, you are living in the world. You are supposed to face certain challenges of life. You are supposed to face certain forces of life. You are to confront with the hard and stern reality of life. And utmost hard and utmost stern reality of life is death. How can you escape death? Every minute you are living is captured by death. Every minute you are living is captured by the apprehension of death. Every minute you are made to live is nothing but the hard and stern reality of death. Death is, for an ordinary man, absolute reality. Mother tries to find out, if absolute reality is the divine, how can this mortal life be the absolute reality of life? So there is a conflict between mortal reality appearing to be the absolute reality of life is reality, or the supreme reality, Satchidanand, is reality. So what is the difference between the reality that appears and the reality that is? That is Mother's research. So to get free from Sarva Dharman Parityajya, so what are the religions, what are the habits, what are the presumptions, what are the beliefs, what are the convictions are to be rejected in life in order to get rid of death and in order to get the true and absolute reality of Ajo Nityo Sasvato Ayam Purano. You are immortal. And where lies the immortality? Mother has searched it out that immortality lies in body, immortality lies in soul, Immortality lies in the center of your body. And what is the center of your body? Center of the body is the cell. Where lies pure mind, where lies pure vital, where lies pure physical. And there lies the pure psychic that is yet dormant, and if it can be awakened, it can change the scenario of death. That is Mother's research. So, what is to be our target, and what are the things to be rejected? Aspiration is to be generated from psychic. Aspiration is aspiration. Aspiration is not the aspiration of mind. Aspiration is not the aspiration of body. Aspiration is not the aspiration of mind, physical, vital and mental. Aspiration is the aspiration of psychic. It is the psychic that can generate aspiration. Mind can simply reflect it. Vital can simply sustain it, and physical can at least retain it. This is Swadharma. And all other dharmas, all other projections, all other habits, all other inclinations rather, are all foreign inclinations to our psychic. And what is foreign to our psychic is to be rejected. The mortal habit, that is the new title. What are the mortal habits? If we can avoid, if we can get rid of the mortal habits, then only we can get rid of the grand total of mortal habits, death. There are mortal habits, they are to be rejected. Then only we can get free from the total mortality. And total mortality is death. In the previous para, that is what we have seen in the last episode, that death is the issue, death is the problem, and death is the supreme reality on the earth. And if it is not to be won, if it is not to be defeated, then life will be defeated all the while. Punarapi janani jathare sayanam. You will have to enter into the cycle of life, cycle of birth and rebirth, till you get free from this mortality. So mortality is the tremendous challenge to psychic who has taken birth on the earth. So mortality is the Kurukshetra. Unless and until you get rid of all mortal dead habits, you cannot win the Kurukshetra. You cannot win the life. You cannot realize divinity on earth. You cannot realize infinity. Till that point, anything that appears to be real on the earth in life is relativity. I think you must have caught the idea. And how does one go about descending into a body? So mother faces this issue that is observed by Satprem, and this is Satprem's commentary on mother's experiences up till now presented before Satprem. And how does one go about descending into a body? How can we go down? How can we dive deeply into the body? If we try to look into the body, we cannot see anything. Even at the time of meditation also, we think that we are introspecting, but are we really introspecting? Are we really introspecting at the time of meditation? Or are we just diving deeply into the ocean of darkness? It is nothing but the ocean of darkness. While going down and down and down into our body to the cave of the heart, are we really descending down? Are we really meditating? Or are we just captivated by the darkness? So are we going to death or are we going to immortality? What is for? Why for yoga is being practiced this way? We have never asked this question to ourselves. Answer is only with the psychic, answer is not with the mind. And mind tries to answer this question, it creates much more confusion than what it was a victim of the previous confusions. Mind creates more and more confusions, and we are just getting down and down, deeply down and down into the confusions self-created. These are bad habits. These are dead habits. These are all mortal dead habits, and to get free from mortal habit is a very first step towards immortality. Our body is perfectly natural to us. See, our body is perfectly natural to us. There is nothing like unnatural in our body, provided we can have insight and sight to look to the real Swadharma of the body. Real Swadharma of the body. Up till now we have not lived naturally through our human body. We are still living the life of animals, plantations, microbes, viruses, germs, but we are not living the life of human being. And human being means the life of the real mind, the life with the real power of mind, life with the genuine mind. Are we living with genuine mind? Are we using our mind purely, perfectly, in a unique way? Are we human? If no, then there are so many mortal habits which are to be discarded, and unless and until we discard all such bad habits which are presumed by us as our own dharma, was the message of Gita, Sarva Dharman Parityajya Mamekam Saranam Vraja. I am the only reality. And who is reality? Psychic is the only reality in life. Mind is also not reality. Vital is also not reality, and physicality is also not reality. It is the psychic that is the only reality. Follow the footprints of your psychic, then you can win the Kurukshetra and you will be victorious. That is immortality. Our body is perfectly natural to us. We walk on its 2 feet and keep it fed, explaining and justifying the whole thing with a few convenient layers of philosophies. We can just live with our self-assumed thoughts. We can live with our self-assumed beliefs. We can live with our self-assumed convictions. We can live with a self-assumed knowledge, which is not as it is, which is not really a knowledge, which is not really a reality, which is not really a truth. It means we are not living the life of psychicality, we are living the life of lower mentality, lower vitality and lower physicality. Layers of philosophies. These are the layers of philosophies. Self-assumed truth is all layers of philosophy. We can take just a strong support from one school of thinking, one school of thought, or another school of thought. So one school of thought becomes our religion, another school of thought becomes the religion of the other people. But is true religion, is true truth, is Rutam really the Satyam that we have accepted in the life of relativity is falsehood. with the forces of habits, whatever we have accepted is falsehood, is not truth. Truth is only to be just judged and justified on the pedestal of psychic, not on the pedestal of our mind. It is not the mind that can justify the truth that we have assumed. It is only the psychic that can justify and establish the truth that we have accepted is truth or falsehood, that is to be judged by psychic, and let our psychic be the judge of our life, not our mind. That is mamekam saranam vraja. Mind of cells is the real Gita of the divine on the earth. Is the real Gita of the divine on the earth. And it will be the truth, not of past, not of the time of Mahabharata, not of the time before 5,000 years back, will be the truth permanently forever, because it is Gita that can only preach the way to immortality. It is Lord Krishna that can only pave the path for the entire human race to immortality, and that is life divine, and that is Kalki, because Kalki can get us liberated from the clutches of the mind and divert us to the route towards psychicality. So we must get free from all mortal habits. Well, if we are to begin to understand anything about the body, it must first of all stop being natural. Well, if we are to begin to understand anything about the body, it must first of all stop being natural. Natural into inverted comma. This is the understanding of Satprem in the very presence of the World Mother. What is natural? What is unnatural in the eyes of God, what is unnatural in the eyes of the divine, is natural to our mind. So what is to be overturned? What is to be reversed? Mind is to be reversed. Our Prakriti is to be reversed. Our Prakriti is to be imposed by turning point, compulsorily, mandatorily. If we can change the definition of our natural life, then we can change the destiny of mortality imposed upon life. Then we can change the death. So what we have assumed at present with our mind as natural is really not natural. Is really not natural. It is absolutely unnatural. The way in which we are living with the urges of our Prakriti is unnatural. And that is to be discarded. That is to be rejected. As long as the Hatha yogis have excessively experimented with all those techniques, you can even stop your heartbeat, and then what? We are not after the jugglings of the old species, nor even after an improved version of the old species. We are living still as old species. And old species to human being, what is the old species? Old species to the human being, animals. So the life we are living is not a human life. The life we are living is the life of animals. So we must get rid of our animalities, and we must get rid of our animalities which have been established by our thought, philosophies, imposed thoughts, by our convicted, convincing thoughts, is natural. What we accept as natural is fundamentally unnatural. So mind is to be replaced by psychic, is elevation of mind, is higher mind, illumined mind, intuitive mind and over mind. That is the way to Krishna consciousness. That is the way to over mental consciousness. That is the way to Narayan. Nor you will have to accept the way to Narayan, not the way to your mind only, and that has to be all projections of your mind which are accepted by your mind as natural are all to be rejected. Then you can come to me. Then you can be Narayan. Then you can be God. But first of all, before becoming God, you will have to be demigod. You will have to pass through certain changes, and for that you will have to accept reality of your psychic, and you will have to reject all mentally accepted thoughts, mentally accepted truths, mentally accepted natural inclinations, mentally accepted natural way of life. That is all unnatural, and it has to be discarded. You will have to just get away from self-imposed nature on your body through your mind. We are after something else. We can play with all the body mechanisms, but they won't yield anything really new. We are simply play with the body's mechanism. Ahar, Nindra, Bhay, Maithunamcha. We are guided by all these governing forces. Sabda, Sparsh, Roop, Ras and Gandh. We are just guided by the impact of Gnanendriya and impact of Karmendriya. At the most, we are not guided by the soul intimation coming from the soul. We cannot get anything from our soul if it is dormant, if it is inactive, if it is not awakened. If we get our psychic awakened, then we cannot but reverse our nature. Means what we have assumed as nature has to be totally and radically changed. That is transformation. They barely touch the surface. We have up till now touched the surface only. We have not understood the real spark of the divine within us. We are guided by the mind, and mind is taken for granted to be our soul, because mind does not show us the soul. Mind is incompetent. But we have accepted the supremacy of mind, and we have accepted the supremacy of our nature. We have accepted the supremacy of our self-assumed nature. It is not the nature naturally. The real nature naturally is the divine spark's intimation to our body. Because they barely touch the surface, we have simply touched the surface. We have not dived deeply into the ocean. Unless we dive deeply into the ocean of our being, we cannot get the pulse. We can simply just moving on the seashore out of fear. We have not yet tried to dive deeply into it. We are just simply walking, and walking in no direction, wasting our energy, time, life power and opportunity. And that is why neither biologists nor Hatha yogis have found the key. No biologist also have found the key. No medical science has found the key. And no Hatha yogis also had found the keys. Hatha yogis, they are utilizing body in a different way, in an unnatural way, but they can't find the true knowledge, the true reality, the true experience. Nor biologist. Biologist means scientist. The entire world of science also failed to find out the mystery of the body. Mother has found the mystery of the body, and Mother says it the real key to immortality. nor even really understood the problem. Biologists, Hatha Yogis did not understand the problem. As we said earlier, from the time of the shrew mouse, we have done nothing but juggle with one mechanism or another. We are just juggling with one mechanism or another. We are simply getting consolation from one religion or another religion. We have not found true religion of our soul. Something else has to be found, another deeper key within the body. Something has to be found, and still a deeper key lies in our body. That is what Mother is searching for. The experience is simple, really. Simple to describe in any case, but it is meaningless unless it is lived, unless we lived the de facto natural life, not guided and governed by certain urges arising from our physicality, vitality and mentality. We cannot live the real life, and if we put into practice the intimations coming to us from psychic, the mandatory intimations coming from our psychic to our mind, to our vital and to our body, we cannot have the true and genuine human life, and true and genuine human life is yoga. Combining biology and yoga, we might then imagine that descent is going to reveal a buzzing network of nerves and veins. Then only we can get the buzzing network, the real network of our body. If we start receiving psychic intimations and put them, if we can put them into practice, then we can give U-turn to our life, and that U-turn will take us to the real yoga of this human life. And the real achievement of this human life is immortality, victory over death. That we will hear palpitations and vibrate with the nuclei and dendrites. In short, leave our body at a microscopic level through some kind of electronic or yogic magnifying glass in an effort to unearth the key. We'll have to unveil the key that is there in our body, that is there in the center of our body, that has yet to be found out. Mother did find it out, and I am also convinced, that is what Satprem admits, that this master key is there in the center of the body, not in the external world, not in the self-imposed greater and better life as natural by our mind, that which we are living at present. To honor the key, but the key lies in none of these good things, philosophy, theology, religion, knowledge, science. Nowhere that key we can find out things. Our body is an excellent body. Our body is an excellent body. Our body is an excellent laboratory, as good as that of a snake or a kingfisher, with only minor mechanical differences. With a minor mechanical differences, a snake gets rid of its own skin. Snake gets rid of its own skin without dying. We also must get rid of our self-imposed false body, false bodily habits, false traditionally accepted bodily habits. Then only we can put the intimations of psychic into practice. That will be our new birth. After getting rid of old skin, snake is reborn. Snake gets new life. So we cannot do it. Jirnani vasansi yatha vihaya. We can get rid of our body full of all dead habits, full of all wrong habits, full of all mortal habits. We can achieve the state of infinity. The last chapter of this book, wherein Satprem has noted down that it is the caterpillar that becomes butterfly without taking birth. We also must put this into practice, because this is the true and genuine law of nature. The law of nature as we have defined with our mind are all wrong nature, and that wrong nature up till now we have established it to be the standard nature, is to be discarded. Jai Mata.